Today I am going to describe how the components and modules in a Angular application are arranged and how they are contacting among each other. So generally an Angular application is composed of several components. So this is the picture here. You can see many components are scattered here. They are belongs to a particular Angular application. So everything actually written here in the component. So each component belongs to a user interface, means one HTML. Each component is related to one HTML. Okay, so if I will draw here the HTML, so here we can draw some HTML. Means to show that each component is attached with a HTML file. But the issue is that if there are several components like this scattered, so it is very difficult to manage, and many facility cannot be obtained. So to overcome this, the module come in between. So module, what it is saying that the components are encapsulated by module. Okay, this component, if you will go to previous page, these are the only components, but we are encapsulating it using module. Okay, there are three modules, they are encapsulating some components. So if we will encapsulate it, we can get many benefits that you will learn later. Many, for example, this is a ng module. If I will give an example, m1, suppose m1 is ng module, means ng module means it is a root module. Similarly, c1 is suppose app component, means it is the root component. Okay, for an Angular application to run, it should have one root module and one root component. Then these are the other modules and other components. So these are generally called feature module. Okay, so for example, we have a we are designing an application for a e-commerce site, an Angular application. So this will be suppose product module. What product the e-commerce site has. This is suppose sales module, means how the user can buy a product. Okay, so different module and they have different components. So inside that, suppose this is a product module. So here suppose this is electronic component, this is electronic product. Suppose this is list of product. For example, this will give a list of product, this will give adding new product, this will be facilitated in deleting existing product, this will be for modifying an existing product. So these are the components. Each has a user interface, so their template URL, each has a template URL. So then we will go to next page. So now to see the picture here, so this is a application with components without encapsulation. Here this application is encapsulated with modules. Okay, so this is introduced in the Angular. Okay, before if you will go to the older Angular, that Angular JS or older 1 point some version, they were using only components. So after that in Angular the module is introduced. Okay, so I am giving a pictorial representation. It represents there is a module A and it is using module B and C. Okay, and module A has two components, X and Y. So whenever it is importing the module B, it is automatically importing component A, component 1, 2, 3. Whenever it is importing the module C, it is importing by default component 4, 5 and 6. Okay, So these are the component belong to the module A itself, and these are the imported module to module A. So we can write this in a code. Okay, in a TypeScript code we can write this like this. So module B and C, we are importing module B and C from some particular resource or particular path. Okay, we are not declaring the component of module B and C. Okay, the component are here 1 2 3 4 5 6. We are not declaring in here. Here no here declared the component 1 2 3, because it is the responsibility of module B and C itself. So we are not importing this. We have to just import module B and C. As component X and Y belongs to the module A. See, module A, this is the module A itself. X and Y belongs to module A itself. So we are importing it. And because it is written somewhere, so you have to import it. And in the declaration, we are declaring component X and component Y. Okay, in the declaration we are declaring that these two components belongs to this module. Okay, so we are declaring here, and in the import section we are going for module B and C. We are importing module B and C. So if we are writing like this module B and C, definitely it should be imported previously. Okay, so if we are declaring here declaration of component, so we must have to import here. Then we are going to component X, bootstrap. So component X, so anyway we have to start with one component at a time. Two component will not be started, so I will start only one component at a time. So I have to bootstrap it, though it have two component, but the starting component will be component X. So bootstrap is meant for that. So you can see in many application the bootstrap we are writing app component. I will show it here. In the bootstrap we are writing app component. Declaration is app component, because we have only one component in this case. So this module has app module has only one component, and it is also bootstrapping the same component. Okay, browser module, we are in, suppose browser module is required for this module, so we are importing here. Okay, ng module is required for this. We are decorating the class app module with ng module. So to decorate with ng module we need this. That's why we are importing. Okay. So if we'll just see this picture, you will have all the idea. Okay. So services, if you go to services, so provider will contain services. Which service we are inputting or we are injecting from outside into module A. Okay, and practically module, component, services, all are classes. So they are differed only due to this attribute. For module it is ng module. Okay, this is called decorator. From here to here we are calling it as a decorator. So if it is a ng module decorator, it will be considered as a module. If it is so for classes, for components, it will be @ component. Okay, let's go. What is component? Component, it is a combination of HTML file, TS file, and component decorator. Okay, if some class is decorated with this decorator component, then it will be considered as a component. If it is ng module, then it will be module. Okay, so component is equal to template plus class plus metadata. Here in this picture you can see that actually the user is going to see the HTML part. Okay, what is defined in the template or template URL inside the metadata of the component, and this HTML file or this template is going to use the property and methods of the class. Okay, where the export class name is written, that property method will be used in the template or HTML part, and that property and method will use the imported module and services in the metadata. Okay, so this is the sequence. Okay, so finally the HTML part will be seen to the user, and the business logic will be written here. Whatever the business logic to show in the HTML to the user, it will be written here. All the calculation will be written in this part, and if some additional module or pipe or anything required for this class, that is mentioned in the component. Then we will go to the next part. So next I will show you the component is actually what is it doing. Component is import, decorate and export. So basically a component is exporting a class, so the class name it is exporting, and it is importing component, so it is from Angular core, because this is used here. If I will remove this, we cannot use this decorator. So this decorator is from this class and it is coming from Angular core library. So this is the decorator. Okay, so import, decorate and export, that is the basic concept. So in case of component, we are decorating using @component. Then similarly for module we are also doing same thing. So this is a module, see this is app module, we are decorating using ng module, and these are the different declarations, import, provider, bootstrap, everything is there. We are importing something, importing libraries. Okay, we can import modules, we can import different modules, components. So import, decorate and finally export. So this is the rule of creating module and component. Then we will go to see what are the basic classes. So we are using module, component, service, pipes and directives. So module is a class with decorator ng module. Component is a class with decorator component. Service is a class with decorator injectable. Pipe is a class with decorator pipe. Directive is a class with decorator directive. So if we will remove the decorator, it will be a plain class. It will not act as a module or component or service, etc. So whenever we are decorating with decorating a class with different type of decorators, it will become different type of objects in Angular. Okay, one module, what a module can contain? A module can contain component, another module, services, pipes and directives. So in the declaration part of the metadata of the module, we can put component, pipe and directives. In the imports part, we can put other modules that will be used by the current module. In the providers part, we can use services from outside world. Whatever services is created in the outside path, we can import it through provider. Okay, we can use it through provider. So module is the combination of component, directive and pipes and services. Component, directive and pipes will go through declaration, and service will go inside provider section. Here there is a pictorial representation. We are importing everything here: external modules, services, directives, pipes and components. And where we are declaring it? We are declaring in the declaration section: components, directive, pipes. Export, we can also export same component, directive, pipes to different module. Just like we imported here, this module can be exported to other modules. And in the import part, external module, in the provider part, services, bootstrap part, component means we should have a starting component to run the application. And here we are exporting, and then at last we are exporting. We are importing from here, then we are putting it in the metadata. This is inside the metadata, and we are doing some business logic here, then exporting. And if we will go to the actual formula or syntax, we are defining a module like this: ng module, then one circular bracket, curly bracket, and curly bracket, circular bracket, end. Imports different modules, n number of modules we can import. Export, we can export component, C for component, D for directive, P for pipes and other modules also. This among this module we can import it and export through this also. We can export M2, we can export M3 from here directly. Declaration is component, directive and pipes. Providers: service 1, service 2, service 3 up to service n. Bootstrap, we are going to bootstrap one component, starting component. We can export many components here, but we are bootstrapping single component here. Among these, whatever exported, whatever declared, whatever component declared here, that should come here. It should not be outside anything here. So any declarative components can come here. Similarly, there are other portions also: entry components, schema, ID, GIT. So we are not going to that now. We will go later.